There's a door in my basement that wasn't there yesterday. My house was built in the 1950s, a little two-bedroom place that's been in my family for generations. I moved in last year after my parents passed away and nothing about it ever felt strange until last night. I went down to the basement to grab some old photo albums when I noticed something off. The shelves had been pushed aside. The wall where they stood was different. There was a door there. A door that had never been there before. It was old. The wood looked warped, as if it had been there for decades, hidden behind the shelves. But I knew for a fact it wasn't there before. I grew up in this house. That door had never existed. At first, I thought maybe I was just misremembering. Maybe there had been some storage space I had never noticed. But then I tried the handle. It was ice cold. And locked. I should have left it alone, but instead, I spent the next hour searching for a key. I don't know what possessed me to do it, but something about that door pulled at me. Eventually, I found an old key in a dusty toolbox. It looked like it had been sitting there for years, its surface covered in grime. It fit perfectly. The moment the lock clicked open, a smell hit me. Damp. Rotten. Like something had been left to decay in the dark for a long time. The door creaked open an inch. The basement light barely reached inside, but I could see just enough to know it wasn't a closet or storage space. It was a hallway. A hallway that shouldn't exist. It stretched far beyond the dimensions of my basement, disappearing into the darkness. The walls were rough stone, the air thick and heavy. My heart pounded as I stepped closer, shining my phone's flashlight inside. Something moved. Just for a second. A shadow at the very end of the hallway. Too fast, too unnatural. I stumbled back, slamming the door shut. My hands were shaking as I turned the key, locking it as fast as I could. I pushed the shelves back, grabbed my things, and ran upstairs. I didn't sleep that night. I could still feel it, the presence behind that door. Watching. Waiting. This morning, I convinced myself it had been a dream. Some trick of the mind, exhaustion playing with my senses. I went down to the basement, ready to prove myself wrong. The door was gone. The shelves were exactly where they had always been, no sign of disturbance. No warped wood, no old key, nothing.